What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I am your host, Tashir Rasay. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week 42 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. A pretty different one. So, as I said in the instructions, that we're going to take some different approaches to learning this year and to building our skills. And I believe a lot of that is going to come through versatility and through appreciation and acceptance, I guess, of other other genres and producers and blah, blah, blah. So first and foremost, this is called mimic, which what we are doing is basically putting our focus on one person, in this case, a producer, and we're going to do our best to mimic their style. Not trying to hit it 100%, but as close as possible, just to kind of give you an understanding of what they go through. A little similar to what we went through in 41, where we had the I Challenge You to take you out of your comfort zone. And you may have done something like in my case, you may get to do something that you've never done before. So this is what mimic is all about. For week number 42, for mimic number 1, I chose Timbaland. Simply because Timbaland is one of the baddest dudes to ever sit in front of a drum machine, in front of an engineering board, blah, blah, blah. This dude has countless hits. He has countless awards in different categories. He's worked with anybody from, when he first came in with Missy Elliott and Genuine, all the way up to this dude has worked with, I believe, Britney Spears. I know for a fact Jessica Simpson, Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. Of course, everybody, that we're familiar with in hip hop, like Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes and countless others, Justin Timberlake and so many other people. So I said this dude would be very, very perfect to start it off with. And we actually have, it looks like 7 or is it 8? Yeah, we have 8 submissions this week. And I'm very, very proud of that. So shout out to my man who has been kicking it every single week since we've been back. My man, Third Degree, representing Detroit. Let's get it in. Third Degree. Always comes through. He's doing his thing. Shout out to my man doing his thing. Woo. Yes, yes, yes. So, love the track. Absolutely love it. I like what he did with it. That was definitely like one of the things that I said in the challenges, pick an era of Timbaland, and he has many different eras because he reinvents himself like every few years. He has to. He literally came into the game changing it. Everybody started mimicking his style. And he had to recreate himself, and he's done it several times since then. But I said pick an era of Timbaland, and that's definitely like the beginning of Timbaland, like when he first came in, like the mid to late 90s. Yeah. So anyhow, I like how he laid it down. But here's my issue with P. Third Degree. Here's my issue with P is you can hear that it's always the Machine Factory sounds. Doesn't matter if it's the ones that come in when they first released Machine or the ones that they released with 2.0, you know it's the factory sounds. And as I've said before, definitely either start using some more sounds, some other sounds, I should say, or if you are going to use factory sounds, and this is for anybody, if you are going to use factory sounds, definitely do whatever it takes to change them up and don't make them sound factory, because most factory sounds most of them, not all, are kind of flat. They're just there to give you something to play with until you get something else to use with that particular piece or software or whatever it is. But I absolutely loved what he did, but I would have loved it a little bit more if it wasn't just a straight up factory sounds, if they weren't really thin, if he had stacked them, filtered and affected them, or, it's a number of different ways. But P, you are definitely doing your thing. It's good to see you on another week, my man. I think that is 4 weeks in a row. So shout out to that. All right, moving right on to my man, Willie Chill. Let's see what he's doing. Willie Chill did it. Willie Chill did it. Oh boy. Week number 42. My man is definitely working. You can tell. If you've listened to, he came in at 40 up to now, he's definitely working. So shout out for having so far your best track that you've submitted. Very, very nice job. It sounds this is definitely an improvement over the previous weeks. And once again, I know Willie is just really getting started. Now, I know he came in to CMA wanting to use Ableton a little bit better, but I saw him talking to somebody in the community, can't remember who it was, saying that, yeah, he's actually stepped back for a second using his old program. Not sure what that is. If I had to guess, I would probably say FL Studio, but I could be totally wrong, so I apologize if I am. But anyhow, one thing I definitely have to tell Willie, as I told Third Degree, factory sounds. I don't know what program you used, but the sounds sound very factory, very thin, very just, they threw them in there so you can use them. It sounds very factory, and you gotta definitely work on your sound selection and layering, affecting, filtering, whatever it is to turn those sounds into your own sounds. And that's something that we're going to get into very, very soon over at CMA. But dude, I got to give you mad props because this is your most cohesive track that you've turned in. I like where you were going. That's like the first or the second Timbaland era. Definitely a shout out for that because you did very good. It's just definitely the sounds. And that's one thing I got to say. When we're speaking about somebody like Timbaland, that dude has his own sounds. His own sounds. He sits there and he tweaks them. And I know he has a couple other producers like Danger, and I forgot the other guys, but they kind of work with each other. But they sit there and they create their own sounds out of factory sounds, or they record and make their own stuff. But definitely the most cohesive track that you've made to date. I love the change ups. I love the feel and everything. Just got to work on those picking those sounds. So once again, great job, my man. All right, coming up to a man that, oh my God, I've been trying to get this dude to submit since he joined back in November. Now he finally submits. My man, the Silent Yak. Let's get it in. Yes, the Silent Yak finally submitting a track to the CMA weekly homework assignment. Very nice job. Here's my issues with it. I like the track. I do. But here's some stuff to improve it. First off, if you're going for a Timbo feel, and even not a Timbo feel, if you're going for whatever, I like what you did with that. I like where you were going. That sounds like that could be like one of those Missy Elliott tracks where she actually sings, or Rest in Peace. That could have been something for Aaliyah, or maybe Tweet, or, one of his female artists who actually sing. But that would have been perfect for one of them. When you're going for something like that you want to, most likely you want to be on the radio and possibly in the club, it got to have more bounce to it. And it's that boom, boom, shot, boom, 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 shot that you had. And that was cool, but it needed to have a little bit more bounce to it. It was really stiff. Boom, boom, chop, boom, 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 chop. Don't necessarily need to raise the tempo or anything, but it definitely needs to have more bounce. And I'm not sure I'm pretty sure you quantized it, but I'm not 100% sure. Not sure what kind of grid you used, but you definitely want to have something that gives you a little bit more bounce, a little bit more snap. Second, got to work on those drums. The drum work, with the exception of the quantizing, was actually okay, but those drum sounds definitely needed to come up. What I really liked is in the middle, you had that change up. And that was real cool. And I heard some percussion in there, like some bongos or congos or something. That definitely needed to be a little bit stronger. It needed to be a little louder and possibly pan. And I think it was pan, but it was really low in the mix. So we got to work on the mixing. We got to work on the EQing. But I know that you're just starting. And then I got to go to the third point too. I know Yak uses Machine. So once again, sounded kind of factory. That some of those sounds I think may have been from an expansion. I could be wrong, but definitely got to stack, got to tweak, got to make them sounds your own. Definitely, man. But Yak, good to have you in the mix, man. Hopefully this is not the last. If it is, I will come to see you personally. Trust me, I will get on the plane and I will find out. Okay. Anyhow, moving on to our man down in Tampa, Gold 007, who has been knocking it out the park. Let's see what he has. Yes. Gold 007 doing his thing. Actually, very, very nice track. I like where he tried to go with that. Well, I'm not going to say try. That's always like a slight. I like where he was going with that. That's more of Tim's later feel, where he went, he started going with a lot of synthesizers and arpeggiations and stuff like that. The thing that actually would have made this a little bit better, once again, is the drum work in two areas. The actual drum sounds, of course, need to be a little bit stronger. And that's just for, I know Gold is a different cat. He does a little bit different from what everybody else does because he's from a different time. But definitely when you're looking at making modern music, I guess you could say, the drum sounds has to be there, because anything you listen to on the radio, anything you listen to on MTV or BET or on the radio, in the club, or anything like that, drums are hitting. They have really nice drums. And that's something I guess I got to do, is actually do a couple of tutorials on stacking drums and tuning and stuff like that. Done deal. But yeah, definitely that. And definitely as far as like the quantizing and the feel of the drums, that definitely needed to be switched. And it definitely needed to be somewhere else than where it was. But overall, like the track. Really did. Love the drum sounds he used. Love the feel. Everything. Very, very nice job, sir. All right. So the gift that just keeps on giving. You know, I have somebody I really, really, really admire. I really, really appreciate and respect at CMA. And I've been trying to get her to submit. Well, she actually submitted. Shout out to my girl B.A. Mack. And if I'm not mistaken, she's in one of the Carolinas. I'm just trying to think off the top. She's in one of the Carolinas. But either way, I am very excited to have her back in the mix for another, and we probably won't see her for another 6 months. Anyhow, B.A. Mack, let's go. Mack doing her thing. Oh boy. See, when I got her email the other day, I knew it was going to be dope simply because she's close to Virginia. Be it a state or two off, she's close to that sound because everybody in that area knows about Timbaland, knows about Pharrell, knows about Teddy Riley. And, you know, not to say that everybody takes or imitates their style over there, but it's respected. And, you know, it's all homegrown. Everybody kind of bounces off of each other and learns from each other. So anyhow, that turned out really dope. I like how she got, it's really symphonic. And to be very honest, some of Timbaland's work is very symphonic. Not a lot of really cool chord progressions. She even had a couple of different change ups. Shout out for the drum work, though. The drum work is definitely very, very similar to what Tim would do. I'm very, very impressed with B. Yo, you did a great job. And I gotta let everybody else previous to her know. Take a listen to her drum work. That's what's important. Take a listen to her drums and her drum work. That's what I'm talking about. She didn't use any factory or stock sounds, nothing that was, even if it did come out of a box of a expansion or something like that, I'm pretty sure she did some work on it, or it's just the drum selection in general. Shout out for that, B. And I guess we won't see you for another 6 months. So thanks. All right, moving right along to my man, 18th Dynasty, New Jersey. Once again, he and Third Degree have been on it every week so far. Let's get it in. Shout out to my man 18th Dynasty, New Jersey represent. Man, that was actually pretty dope. From the beginning when I heard the Bollywood samples, and that's definitely an era of Tim's. I think he kind of goes back to that ever so often, but that was something. If you're not familiar with Bollywood, it's the Indian and not the Native American, the actual people that Christopher Columbus was trying to see, but he screwed it up and ended up, okay, anyhow, Bollywood is the Indian Hollywood, so to speak. It's their motion picture, industry, basically. And they have really great choreography and dance numbers in their movies. And of course, the soundtracks are crazy. So Timbaland has a history of sampling those. For instance, Big Pimpin', the one with Jay-Z and my boys down south. One of them passed. Oh, crap. Pimp C and why can't I think of their names right now? Pimp C and Bun B. Cannot think of their names right now. UGK, Underground Kings. Anyhow, but yeah, that track right there. So that's, one of Timbo's biggest hits. And Dynasty went there. My only issue with Dynasty's track is definitely the timing. The track needed to be a little looser. It was still, and he's thinking of Dynasty's from the East Coast. We around the same age, and he still has that, as I do. That 90s boom back kind of era, and even a little later. He's still thinking in that mind frame. You got to loosen it up a little bit. It got to be on a different time signature if you're going to quantize it. But other than that, think it needed a couple, like one or two more change ups. Definitely on the drums. The samples were okay. I would definitely have added a little bit more to the sample as far as percussion and whatnot, which he did some really cool percussion, which is one of Timbaland's things. Really, really enjoyed it. So nice job, dude. It's definitely worth going back and, switching it up, maybe raising the tempo, changing up the drum pattern, make it a little loose, a little bit more bounce. That's the thing with Timbaland. His joint has bounce, seriously. All right, moving on to my man, the Hypnotist, representing Brooklyn. Let's get it in. Yes, sir. The Hypnotist doing his thing. Cool track. Very cool track. Definitely, as I've said with pretty much everybody else, definitely that bounce. I like that he definitely has done his homework, and he's selected some drums and some instruments that Tim will definitely use, and he tried to lay out the structure and whatnot. Very, very high grade on that. Definitely, it's that bounce. The bounce. And the other thing that I would say is definitely needed a little bit more as far as change ups. I like the first pattern of strings, the symphonic stuff, but when you added that other high string, that kind of threw the entire thing off, in my opinion. Everybody else could like it, but it kind of threw everything off. But when you just had that main sequence or structure for the strings, it actually sounded really, really nice. But once again, it got to be that boom, boom. They got to be that bounce. But excellent job, my man. Keep pushing, because I know you are working. And I know, once again, this is something that's taking everybody out of their realm. That's what it's all about. We're going to learn. We're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue to grow and make better music. That's what it's all about. So, closing it out today, my man, representing the UK contingent, one half of it, my man, Crooked Mystery Jazz. Let's go. Crooked Mystery Jazz, closing out week number 42 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Shout out to that track. That's definitely like a step behind what Tim would do. Trust me, it's like right there. The bounce was definitely there. The drum sounds were actually there. Tim might go with something just slightly more distorted or down sample, but it's definitely Jazz is right there. He's right there, even down to note he and B.A. Mac, and I believe I heard it in the Hypnotis track too. We get that loose percussion. That's a Timbaland trait. That dude always has something similar like that, where it's just like a loop that's kind of loose and ongoing in the background. That's what I'm talking about. shout out for that. And it definitely sounds like a later Timbaland, a more mature Timbaland, as he started to work with more pop acts and, just as he grew and matured. Definitely very close to what Tim was doing. So shout out for that, dude. That's basically it. That's basically all I can say. That's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed what we did and what we're going to continue to do as the year progresses, because we are going to go for a very long time. This is only week 4 of the new season, and I have a lot of stuff planned. Plus, we're gonna let the community get involved this year and let them select a couple of things, and eventually, here we go. I want to get the audience involved too. Come over to Computer Music Academy, go to the contact page, and if you have an idea for a weekly homework assignment, email me from the contact page, and I'll definitely take a look at them. Make sure you leave your name and everything, and I'll make sure we give you full credit. And, don't expect it to come out next week or anything, but if it's worthwhile and I know that the people can do it and they're going to get a really good challenge out of it, yeah, let's make it happen. So anyhow, shout out to Crooked Mystery Jazz, the Hipnotis, 18th Dynasty, B.A. Mac, Gold 007, the Silent Yak, Willie Chill, Third Degree, and you for being a part of what we do every single week. Thank you for watching this either on our new YouTube channel or on the website, computermusicacademy.com. And if you would like to be a part of what we do, you want to get some exclusive tutorials like the Ableton Producer, Machine Producer, Understanding, and the Beatmaker series, which are all coming up. You want to get in on that, want to be a part of a really cool community, want to be challenged as far as helping you make your music better, want to be challenged and just evolve and also be a part of the weekly homework assignment, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It's that simple. I am done. Tired of talking. I will talk to you next time. See ya.